Hello my schoolers, this is my school channel and my name is Abiola. Right here in this video lesson, we are going to be solving the JAMB CBT past question for the subject Mathematics, the year 2010. So do not go anywhere, stay with us because we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school YouTube channel, and right there in this video lesson we are going to solve questions 21 to 35. So join me as we begin with question 21. So we are asked to find how if 6r7 base 8 equals 511 rather in base 9. So how do we solve this? It's very easy, of course, and I would like to share with you that I have solved topic that we have here, okay, and that is the topic number system. Okay, so I've provided you with enough steps, guidelines and example on how you can tackle any form of question that comes across to you when you are solving any presentation or expression like this. All you just need to do is to click on the link in the description below. It's going to take you to the Myschool website. Right there you can have access to the full video content by subscribing. So why not subscribe right now? So join me as we solve this question. So the best thing we can do is to bring both bases, okay, to base 10, which is the natural thing that we should work with. So how do we do this? We can use the expansion formula, or the expansion method to put. So I will just label the 0, 1 and 2, 0, 1 and 2. So that will be 6 times 8, okay, raised to power 2 added to r times 8 raised to power 1 added to 7 times 8 raised to power 0. Then I have 5, remember base 9, okay, times 9 raised to power 2. Okay, take note of this as well. This is one hint I shared in the video explanation, okay, on topic by topic. It's preferable that you write these bases, okay, in letters so that you will not confuse it with the entire expression that you have there. All right, so we have this added to 1 times 9 raised to power 1 plus 1 times 9 again, this time around, raised to the power of 0. So 8 raised to power 2, that is 64. 64 times 6, you can punch your calculator or you can join me to do this. Okay, 6 times 4, I have 24. Lift to 6 times 6, that is 36, plus 2, that accounts for 38. So I have 384 added to 8 raised to power 1, that is 8 times r, I have 8r, okay. Then 8 raised to power 0, that is 1, okay. 1 times 7, I have 7. As well, any number or letter raised to the power of 0 equals 1. Why? That is one concept that you can better understand by also checking the same link I've posted, all right, under the topic Indices, Logarithm, and the likes. Okay, so I have this 9 raised to power 2, that is 81. Okay, 81 times 5. So I have 5 times 1, I have 5. 5 times 8, I have 40. So I have 405 added to 9 raised to power 1, that is 9 times 1, I have 9. Then 9 raised to power 0, that is 1. 1 times 1, I have 1. So on the left hand side, let's sum up the like terms. So I have 384 plus 7, that should give me 391. Okay, then right here, if I add it up, 9 plus 1, that is 10. So 10 plus this, that should give me 415. So what do? I can send this to the other side and I have 8r equals 415 minus 391. So I can still do this way. Okay, I have 415. Okay, we have the subtrahend. All right, so 5 minus 1, I have 4. Okay, 41, or yeah, 1 minus 9, we know we have to borrow something from here, and that is 1. So added to this place, that is 11. 11 minus 9, that is 2. This is reduced to 3, so 3 minus 3, that is 0. So, okay, so I have 24. So that implies 8r equals 24. I can do a lifting here. Okay, so I have 8r equals 24. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of r, which is 8. So that means the unknown is what? 3. So I can write this equation as 6, 3, 7 base 8 equals 5, 1, 1 in base 9. So let's see if we have 3 provided in the option on the screen. And very well, we can confirm that option A, so option A is the valid option. 22. Simplify 3 over 4 or 4 over 9 divided by 9 whole number 1 over 2. Then we close your parentheses. Then we have divided by 1 whole number 5 over 19. So we just have to follow board maths. Okay, remember your bracket, your order, your division, okay, multiplication, addition, subtraction. All right, so we have off here. So in the case where we have, this off can be translated as times, okay? So in the case where we have times and divide, all right, what you can just do is you move from left to right. Okay, so let me move from left to right within these parentheses. Okay, so I have 3 over 4, right, times 4 over 9. Then I can convert this to improper fraction, right? So I have 9 times this. This is 18 plus 1, that is 19, right, over 2. Okay, then I have, outside the parentheses, I have 1 times 19, that is 19 plus 5, that is 24 over 19. So if I walk around this, I have 3 here, 1, 3 here, 3. I have 4 here, 1, I have 4 in there, that's still 1. So 1 times 1, I have 1 over 1 times 3, I have 3. Okay, divided by 19 over 2. So if I'm going to switch these two times, this goes up, this comes down. Okay, times 2 over 19. Right, so then I have outside the brackets, I have 24 over 19. Okay, so if I proceed, then I have 1 times 2, that is 2, over 3 times 19, that is 57. Okay, then I have divided by this. So if I'm going to switch these two times as well, this goes up, this comes down. Okay, times 19 over 24. All right, so let's do this together. I have 19, 1, 19, 3, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 12. So 1 times 1, I have 1. 3 times 12, that is 36. So we see our answer when we simplify this expression is 1 over 36. So let's move back to the screen to pick out 1 over 36. So that can be found in option C. So option C is the correct option. We strongly recommend that you have a JAMB CBT simulated experience. How can you do that? Just click on the link in the description below. It's going to get you to the Myschool website. Right there you can get the Myschool mobile app or the Myschool software. So why not try that out right now? So join me as we solve question 23. A student measures a piece of rope and found that it was 1.26 meters long. Okay, so if the actual length of the rope was 1.25 meters, what was the percentage error in the measurement? So you have to find the difference, okay, between what the student measured and what the actual length. Okay, so that implies that if we take away this from what we are seeing here, so 1.26 minus 1.25, that's going to give us 0.01 meters. Okay, so that is the absolute error that was discovered in the course of measurement against the actual length. So even if you are taking this first against this, that is 1.25 minus 1.26, you are going to have negative 0.01. Okay, so the negativity do not matter in this expression. So we will just have this, the absolute error, percentage error equals absolute error over actual length, okay, times 100. So the absolute error that we got is 0.01, right, over the actual length, which is 1.25, okay, then times 100 over 1. Okay, so when I multiply this by this, okay, I have 1 over 1.25. And if I divide, I should have 0.8. So that is my percentage. So the percentage error is by 0.8. So let's move back to the screen to see if we can find 0.8 in the options provided. And that is it. We have the 0.80. Okay, pardon my oversight there. So we have option C at 0.80%. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Also, click on the subscribe button and always tap on bell notifications so you can get alerts immediately we upload the next video lesson just for you. Question 24. At what rate will the interest on 400 naira increase to 24 naira in 3 years, reckoning in simple interest? So we'll record that simple interest equals principal times rate times time. Okay, you can put over 100 for the rate. Okay, so from here you can see we have our principal 400, our interest, the interest we discovered on it, that's 24, then the time, that's 3. Then we are asked to find the rate. So if you recall this formula, this equals PRT over 100, right? So we are asked to make the rate the subject of the formula, then we cross multiply. So I have 100 I equals P times R times T. So what do? We divide both sides by the coefficient of R, and they are this and this. So we have P times T over P times T. So I can rewrite this as P times T, rather, I can write that as 100 times I, or 100I over P times T, or PT. Okay. All right. So 100 times the interest, that is 24, over, okay, over our principal, that is 400, times the time frame, that is 3 years. Okay, so I can do this. You can, of course, punch your calculator, but I prefer to go this way. Then I have here, this is 2. So 1 times 2, that is 2, over 1, that is 2. So we can see that the rate is actually by 2. So let's see if we can find 2 in the option provided. That is 2%, of course. So that can be found in option B. So option B is the correct option. 25. If P ratio Q equals 2 ratio 3 ratio 5 over 6, and Q ratio R equals 3 ratio 4 ratio 1 over 2, so find P ratio Q ratio R. So if you want to have a very sound knowledge of this concept, this is a topic for ratio. Okay, so all you just need to do is to click on the link description below. It's going to get you to the Myschool website. There you get to subscribe so that you can have access to this video lesson and several other topics that we have made just for you. So let's solve this question. So this ratio can also mean like P divided by Q, or P over Q, right? So this means 2 over 3, right, divided by 5 over 6. Okay, so and this is 2 over 3 times 6 over 5. Okay, so I have 3 here 1, 3 here 2. So at the end of the day, I have 4 over 5. So I can identify this as my first equation. Okay, my first equation. So let's do this as well. This implies 3 over 4, right, divided by 1 over 2. Then I should have 3 over 4 times 2 over 1. So 2 here 1, 2 here 2. So I have 3 over 2, equation 2. So you can see that for P ratio Q, we have 4 over 5. Q ratio R, we have 3 over 4. So we can see that the connector is actually Q. So how do we bring Q to have a unique value that is same with P ratio Q and Q ratio R? So what I can do is I'm going to find a particular fraction that I can use alongside this to give me the same thing. All right, so I can use 5 over 3 so that I can negate this 3 that I have here and amount to this 5 that I have right there. Do you see it now? Okay, so that will just be the first part, that, this is Q, this is R. So that will be 5 over 3 times 3, right? Ratio for R now, which is here. Then I have 5 over 3 ratio. Okay, then I have 2. All right, do we see that? Oh, this is a multiplication rather. I've used ratio here. Okay, so I should have 5 You can see, so 5 times 1 I have 5. So for the first bracket I have 5 ratio. Right here I have 5 times 2, 10. That is 10 ratio 3, or 10 over 3 rather. Okay, so you can see that right here Q has the value 5 in the first equation. Then in the next equation that we arrived at, Q has the value 5. So you can see that Q is equal in both sides, or in both equations. So that means I can rewrite this as, so P ratio Q ratio R. Okay, I can put that forth as 4 over 5, isn't it? Okay, 4 over 5 ratio, are you with me? 4 over 5 ratio 5, okay, ratio 10 over 3. Do we see that now? So already you can see that I have 5 for Q here, I have 5 for Q here. So I will just have to pick one. So I will just say 4 ratio 5, right, ratio 10 over 3. So just take note, you can replay this video again. So you can see that I have 5 that is representing Q here. I have 5 representing Q in relation to R, 5 representing Q in relation to P. So I'll just have to pick one. All right, so to bring them to a common solution, so I can just multiply through by this 3. All right, so I have 3 times 4, that is 12 ratio. Okay, 3 times 5, that is 15 ratio. 3 times 10, that is 30, divided by 3, that comes back to 10. So you can see P ratio Q ratio R, that is 12 ratio 15 ratio 10. So let's see if I have this option available. So 12 ratio 15 ratio 10. Where can we find that? We can find that in option A. So option A is the correct option. 26. The third term of an arithmetic progression is -9. And the 7th term is -29. So find the 10th term of the progression. So remember we have AP and GP. GP stands for geometric progression. So for AP, you know, so the third term, okay, of an AP, that is A plus 2D, isn't it? Right, so the third term, okay, equals this. Then we now have D 7th term, that is C7, okay, equals A plus 6D. Okay, that is from this equation, Tn equals A plus n minus 1 into bracket D. So if the term we are working on is the third term, that is 3 minus 1, that is 2 times D, 2D. Do we see that? So that's why we have this expression here. So now let's fix in the available values. So right here for this, I'm going to have the third term is given as -9. So that is -9 equals, the first term is unknown, plus 2D. The common difference is unknown as well. Then we have this. The 7th term is given as -29 equals this. Okay. So remember, we can use our elimination method. Okay. So if that is the case, minus affects everything here. All right, so I have minus times minus, this becomes plus, minus times plus, this becomes minus, minus times plus, this becomes minus. So if I have -29 plus 9, okay, that amounts to -20. All right, if we subtract, okay, so A minus A, that is 0. Then I have, oh, right here it should be 6D, please. Okay, sorry about that. So 6D minus 2D, that is 4D. Okay, so what do we do? Divide both sides by 4, which is the coefficient of D. So I can see that my common difference is -5. So if that is the case, I've gotten my common difference as -5. I can actually put it in the end of this equation to get my first term. So that means this, I can put it into this. So that means -9 equals A plus 2 into brackets -5, right? So that is -9 equals A plus 2 times -5, that is -10. -10 times plus, that is minus. So let's effect the change. So I have -10 here. So what can I do? I can send this outside. So I'm going to have -9 plus 10 equals A. So 10 minus 9, or -9 plus 10, that is 1. So that implies that my A equals 1. So D equals minus 5 and A equals 1. So we are now asked to find the 10th term of the progression. So remember the 10th term, T10 will be equals to A plus 9 minus 10 minus 1 into bracket D, okay, or 9D to cut it short. So let me fix in the values. I have the 10th term equals my A, my first term, which is 1 plus 9 into bracket. The common difference, that is minus 5. So I have my 10th term equals 1. 9 times minus 5, that is minus 45, times plus, that is minus. Okay, so that is minus 44. So the 10th term is actually minus 44. Okay, so let's move back to the screen to see if we can locate minus 44. Very well, we have that in option A. So not to be confused with this. Okay, this is minus, this is plus. So this is what we've solved and arrived at. So the correct option here is option A for minus 44. Question 27. At what value of x does the function y equals minus 3 minus 2x plus x squared attain a minimum value? So we are looking for that value of x, whereby that equation we have a minimum value. So what do we do first? Let me present the equation once again. So I have y equals minus 3, right? Then I have minus 2x, okay, plus x squared. So what do I have to do? I have to differentiate, all right? So if I differentiate this, remember if you differentiate a constant, it becomes 0. So this is 0, this is gone. So if I differentiate this, I should have minus 2. Remember your formula for differentiation. Okay, that will be, if I have this, if I differentiate, it's going to be n times x. Okay, let me just put nx so that the times and the letter will not be confusing. All right, then n minus 1. So if you look at this closely, so this is going to be, let me just expand this and let's make it happen. So I have minus 2, right, times, the power of x here is 1, isn't it? Times x, then 1 minus 1. Do we see that? So that is minus 2 times 1, that is minus 2, isn't it? 1 minus 1, that is 0. X raised to power 0, that is 1. 1 times minus 2 is still minus 2. So you can see why I have this. So try that out again for this. All right, so let's work with what we have. So if I differentiate this, that will be plus 2x. So you can see, let's equate this to 0. Remember that the gradient, okay, it's 0. All right, take note of that, of a curve. So I have minus 2, if I send it out, okay, it's going to become plus 2. Then I have 2x. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of x, and there we have this. 1. So we can see that when x is equals to 1, this equation we have its minimum value. All right, so you can try slotting it into the equation even with the other options provided, and you realize that this particular presentation is very correct. So let's move back to the screen to look for the value 1, and that can be found in option D. So option D is the correct option. Number 28. So find the equation of a line parallel to y equals minus 4x plus 2 passing through 2, 3. All right, so this is about lines that are parallel. We are looking at equations that are parallel, the equation of a line that are parallel. So when you say something is parallel, you know that means they are heading for the same direction. So that means the gradient of this equation, okay, will be the same thing as the gradient of the equation parallel to this. All right, so how do we do that? First, let's determine the gradient here. So the gradient here is actually minus 4. If you recall from this, y equals mx plus c, your intercept, okay? This is your gradient. So you can see it here, m minus 4x, intercept as 2. Some presentation can even use b here. All right, so we've determined our gradient here, minus 4. So that means the equation we are going to derive, it should have its gradient as minus 4 for this to be parallel. All right, so let's work with that. So already we have minus 4. Then we just use, for parallel, we are going to use this, x minus x1. Of course, we do not neglect the gradient. All right, so I have y minus y1. Remember your x1, your y1. So your y1 here is 3. Equals our gradient minus 4 into brackets, okay, x minus x1, that is 2. So let's expand the brackets. I should have minus 4 times x, I have minus 4x. Minus 4 times this, I have plus 8. So if I send this right here, so I have y equals minus 4x plus 8, right, plus 3, and that should give me y equals 4x plus 11. So you can see that minus 4, please, let's not neglect the sign. Okay, so you can see that I have the gradient here is minus 4, the gradient here as well is minus 4. So this accounts for these equations to be parallel. So this is the equation that is parallel to this, passing through this point. So I have y equals minus 4x plus 11. So let's see if we have that in the question given to us. So you can see from what we derived y equals minus 4x plus 11. So if we send this minus 4x plus 11 to the other side to meet y, okay, what we are going to have will now be plus 4x minus 11 equals 0. Okay, so I repeat, what we got from our solution here is minus 4x plus 11. So if you take minus 4x to the other side, it becomes plus 4. Then the plus 11, if you take it to the other side to meet y, that will become minus 11. So the equation that is parallel is actually y, okay, plus 4x minus 11 equals 0. And that can be found in option C. So option C is the correct option. Question 29. Make Q the subject of the formula if P equals M over 5, open your parentheses, X plus Q, close your parentheses, plus 1. Okay, so we just have to do this step by step. Okay, so at first, we may need to send this plus 1 to the other side to P. So it's going to become negative. So I have P minus 1, right, equals M over 5, open your parentheses, X plus Q. All right, so I can just do this to eliminate this, or multiply both sides by 5. So times 5 times 5. It's the same thing, right? So I have P into brackets, 5 into brackets, P minus 1, open your parentheses. Then I have M into brackets, X plus Q. All right, so here I'd say if I expand this bracket, I have 5P minus 5 equals M times X, I have MX, plus M times Q, I have MQ. All right, so I can turn this back to small letter just for everything to align, but let's just work with this. So I'm asked to make Q the subject of the formula, right? So what I can do is I can decide to divide both sides. Instead of expanding, I can divide both sides by this M. All right, so let me just do that. Okay, so let's do that. So I have, let me write this as 5P minus 5, right? Then I have equals M into brackets X plus Q. Okay, because the same thing is going to happen if I send the M here and now dividing both sides by this. Okay, so let me just make it easier. All right, so we can see this. So basically I have 5P minus 5 over M equals X plus Q, right? So that means my Q's remaining positive. If I send X, it's going to become minus, right? So I have 5P minus 5 over M, right, minus X equals Q. All right, so if I want them to have the same LCM, okay, I can just do it as well. I can say 5P minus 5, right? Then I have minus MX all over M equals Q. So we can look for any of these two expressions in our option. So 5P minus 5 over M minus this, all right, or this way. Okay, so let's go back to the screen to select the correct option. So yeah, you can see we have a collective denominator for the left hand side. So right there I have 5P minus 5 minus MX, 5P minus 5 minus MX. This is what we have here over M, right, equals Q. So making Q the subject of the formula, the correct option is option E. Do not forget that you may have questions that you like to ask. All you just need to do is to use the link in the description below. Once you click on it, it's going to take you to the Myschool website. Right there, you have the opportunity to ask your questions right now. Then our solution providers are going to help you out. All right, so join me as we solve question 30. If 9x squared plus 6xy plus 4y squared, okay, is a factor of 27x cubed minus 8y cubed, All right, so find the other factor. So we have a factor here. We are asked to find the other factor. So I decided to use the division in polynomial method. Okay, so how do we do that? Very easy. Okay, so I have this. So this is my divisor, that is one of the factors, and this is my dividend. What I'm going to get here will be my quotient or the other factor. Then I have my remainder underneath. Okay, so there should be no remainder. Your remainder should be 0 since this is a factor. All right, just like 2 is a factor of 8. So that is 8 divided by 2 should give us 4. You can see that without remainder. All right, so let's work with this. Remember that if you are going to carry out this division in polynomial, you must look at degree, okay? You can see the degree here is lesser than what we have here. The degree of y here is lesser than what we have here. So of course we can carry on. So 9x squared in this, all right? So you can just do something like this so that to not make it look clumsy, all right? So I have 9 here 1, 9 here 3, x squared, I'm left with x, so I have 3x. So the 3x will multiply everything I have here. Okay, so just stay with me. So I have 3x times this, that is still this. Okay, then I have 3x times this, so just say 3 times 6, that is plus 18, right? X times x, I have x squared, then the y. Okay, then I have the same thing happens here. 3 times 4, that is 12. X times y squared, so I have x y squared. All right, so what do? I have to carry out minus. Okay, so this minus this is gone, right? So I have minus times plus, this is minus. Minus times plus, this is minus. Remember, we still have this available, so that will be minus this, right, x squared y minus 12xy squared, then this. So you can see that already the next one we can carry out is the one that is lesser in degree to the divisor, and this is what we have here, right? So that is 4y squared to this. So I have minus 8y cubed over plus 4y squared. So I know minus, this is minus, of course. Then I have 4 here 1, 4 here 2, y squared here. So you can see that. So I have minus 2y. So again, minus 2y is going to affect everything I have here. It's going to multiply every part of the divisor. So I have minus times this, minus 2y times this. So minus 2 times 9, that should be minus 18, right? Y times x squared, I have x squared y. Okay, so I have minus 2y times this, right? So minus times plus, that is still minus. 2 times 6, that is 12. Then I have x. Y times y, that is y squared, right? So then I have right here minus times plus, I have minus. 2 times 4, I have 8. Y times y squared, I have y cubed. So let's subtract. Okay, so minus times minus, I have plus. Minus times minus, I have plus. Minus times minus, I have plus. So basically, I can undo these signs, okay, for me to just have plus. All right, after doing this, okay, so that we will not confuse the signs. All right, so you can basically drop it down. Okay, so just permit me. Okay, so minus 18x squared plus 18x squared, this is gone. X squared y, please. So I have this and this is gone. Minus 8y cubed plus 8y cubed, this is gone. So my remainder is 0. So the other factor is 3x minus 2y. So remember your divisor, your dividend, your quotient, or the other factor, then your remainder. So our answer is 3x minus 2y. Let's move back to the screen to secure 3x minus 2y. We can find that in option D, so option D is the correct option. We strongly believe that you may have better steps that you'd like to share with us. Please, we are so much interested. All you just need to do, use that comment section below, kindly indicate the question number and the solutions or explanations you'd like to share. Question 31. So solve for x and y if x minus y equals 2 and x squared minus y squared equals 8. All right, so we have the question here. So I can just decide to equate my x as 2 plus y. Okay, so anywhere I find x, I can replace it with 2 plus y. And recall this, right? This can be rewritten, okay, as x squared. Okay, let me not bring up another implication. Okay, so recall that this actually means it's the same thing as x plus y, right? And x minus y. Okay, so if that is the same thing, then equals 8. So anywhere I find my x, I can put in or substitute 2 plus y. So for the first part, I have 2 plus y, then this y, right? Then I have 2 plus y minus this y, then equals 8. So I have y plus y, that is 2y. So I have 2 plus 2y, all right? Then I have y plus y minus y, that is 0. Then I have 2 equals 8. So I can divide both sides by this 2. Okay, so this is gone. This is 4. So that means 2 plus 2y equals 4. If I send the 2 outside, that would be 2y equals 4 minus 2. And we know that 4 minus 2 is 2, isn't it? So if I divide both sides by 2, which is the coefficient of y, that means y equals 1. So if y is 1, I can put in the value of y here. So that is x equals 2 plus 1, and that is 3. So therefore, x equals 3 and y equals 1. So x is 3, y is 1. Let's move back to the screen to look for x as 3 and y is 1. That can be found in option B. So option B is the correct option. 32. If x is inversely proportional to y and x equals 2.5 and y equals 2. Alright, so that's the first part. We have to now find x if y equals 4. Alright, so let's just rebuild this equation or this expression mathematically. Alright, so we are told that x is inversely proportional to y. So that is x is inversely, alright, inversely proportional. That is this. Remember our constant k. So k times 1 is still k. Alright, so that means x equals k over y. Okay, then our constants, if I ask to find out our constants, k will be x times y, isn't it? So for the first part, we have x as 2.5, that is 5 over 2, right, times our y, which is 2, k over 1, so 2 here. So that means our k is 5. So we are now asked to find x if our y is 4. Okay, so from here, that is x equals k over y. So that is 5. Then y now is 4. So therefore, x equals 5 over 4. So when y is 5, okay, when y is 4, our x is 5 over 4. So let's see if we have 5 over 4 given to us, or in the form of 1 or number 1 over 4 as mixed fraction. So we can find that in option C. So option C is the correct option. Number 33. So for what range of values of x is 1 over 2x plus 1 over 4 is greater than 1 over 3x plus 1 over 2? So you just have to take this, okay, in the simplest way possible. Alright, so let me just use this method. So you can see that we have, for our denominators, I have 2, I have 4, I have 3, I have 2. Okay, so the LCM here should be 12. So to eliminate these denominators, I'll just multiply each value by 12, okay, which is the LCM. So this is going to be times 12. 12 times 1 over 2x, right? So let me just save time. So this times 12, that will be 6. So 6 times 1, that is 6x, all right? Plus, this is times 12 as well. So 4 here 1, 4 in 12, that is 3 times 1, that is 3. Okay, we see that as well. Then here 12, okay? 3 here 1, 3 in 12, that is 4. 4 times 1x, that is still 4x. All right, we see that. Then we have 12. All right, so 2 here 1, 2 in 12, that is 6. 6 times 1, I have 6. Okay, so this is what I actually did just to save time. Okay, then we have 12 times. So 3 here 1, 3 here 4, 4 times this. All right, so Okay, so we can collect like terms right here. Okay, so I have 6x minus 4x, then we have this plus 6 minus 3. So 6 minus this, I have 2x, right? Then I have 3. So dividing both sides by 2, so I should have x equals, right? Or x is greater than 3 over 2. So the sign is not going to change because there is no movement of negativity from x. So let's look for 3 over 2. X is greater than 3 over 2. We can find that in option B. So option B is the correct option. 34. So solve the inequalities. Minus 6 is less than or equals to 4 minus 2x is less than 5 minus x. All right, so you just have to split this into 2 equations. So you can see we can make this as our first part. So I can have this, okay, 4 minus 2x. All right, so if I move on, if I send this here, or I bring this here, and whatever way, okay, just to make this positive. All right, so I can decide to have this. All right, I can decide to have minus 2 plus 2x now. If it comes to this side, then I have, remember 4 is still standing, okay, 4 plus 6, right? So that would be plus 2x is less than or equals to 10. So dividing both sides by plus 2, okay, so I can see that x is less than or equals to 5. Okay, so let me pick the second part of the equation. So that is this that you are seeing. Okay, so I have 4 minus 2x is less than 5 minus x. So I can collect like terms as well. So I can send this here, whichever way you want to work around this. So I can decide to bring this in or send this there. So let's just have 4 minus, okay, 5 is less than minus x plus 2x, right? So 4 minus 5, that is minus 1, is less than minus x plus 2x, that is plus x. Okay, so we can see that minus 1 is less than x. Okay, so if I want to rewrite this equation, I can just combine them together. That will be minus 1 is less than x, and x is less than or equals to 5. All right, so minus 1 is less than x, and x is less than or equals to 5. So let's see if we have that available. Very well, we can find that in option B. So option B is the valid option. Number 35. Okay, so we have find the sum to infinity of the following series: 0.5 plus 0.05 plus 0.005 plus 0.0005 plus. Okay, so to find the sum to infinity, remember that equals a over 1 minus r. Remember that your r is less than 1. Your r is your common ratio. So remember your sum to infinity, you know, this sign, infinity sign, some refer to it as the lemon skates. All right, so but we are not concerned about that. So I know that my sum to infinity actually is this over this. Okay, so remember our common ratio. You can use your second term over your first term, or your third term over your second term, or your fourth term over your third term. All right, so let me just pick the second and the first term. So the second term is 0.05, right, over 0.5. Okay, so without the use of a calculator, well, you can use your calculator. Okay, let me just do this. I know that 0.05 is actually 1 over 20. Okay, so this actually means 1 over 20, okay, divided by, I know that 0.5 is 1 over 2. So that is 1 over 20 times 2 over 1. So 2 here 1, 2 here 10. Right, so I have 1 over 10. 1 over 10 is still the same thing as 0.1. All right, so we see that. So my sum to infinity will be the first term, which is 0.5, right, divided by 1 minus my common ratio, which is 0.1. So that is 0.5, right, over 1 minus that is 0.9. So this is basically 1 over 2, right, divided by, this is 9 over 10, which is the same thing as, say, 1 over 2 times 10 over 9. Okay, do we see that? So I have 2 here 1, 2 here 5. So basically I have 5 over 9. So the sum to infinity That is 5 over 9. So let me see if I can pick out 5 over 9 in the option provided. Of course, we do, and that is option D. So option D is the correct option. We've come to the end of this wonderful video lesson. Do not forget to hit the like button. Also, please click on the subscribe button and always tap on that bell notification so you can get informed immediately we upload the next video just for you.